featuring the top names in the world of wrestling. And now, let's go to ringside and your announcer, Larry Matysik.
Kerry Von Erich clashes with Ken Patera in the main event on Wrestling at the Chase today. Hello, I'm Larry Matysik. When it comes to strength, well, Kerry Von Erich may just be able to match Ken Patera in terms of power. Patera has a slight edge in experience, of course. Both Patera and Kerry Von Erich are in main events all over the world. It's an important battle. Kerry Von Erich versus Ken Patera. Another highlight is a girls' tag match, and Mickey Garagiola will introduce the opening bout following this.
Welcome to Wrestling at the Chase, the opening bout, a one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing from Charlotte, North Carolina, weighing 260 pounds, Gene Lewis. From Jonesboro, Arkansas, weighing 234 pounds, Tim Leonard. And he split the referee.
Gene Lewis takes on Tim Leonard, the curtain raiser today on Wrestling at the Chase. Lewis and Leonard circle. Leonard forces Lewis to the ropes and a clean break by Leonard. You know, we mentioned during the opening that Patera had a slight edge in experience on Kerry Von Erich, and if you looked at how long both have been wrestling professionally, you say, well, it's more than a slight edge. But in the Von Erich clan, you have to take into account the fact that Father Fritz has had those young men on the mat, well, since they were walking practically. So their experience is more than would normally be expected of someone who, say, is 20 years old like Kerry. Lewis kicked Leonard away. Both cautious at this point in the match, feeling one another out. They tie up. Lewis uses his superior size to have a slight momentary advantage. Doesn't last long because there's Leonard with a side headlock, and that does not last long. Oh, flying tackle backfired. Lewis standing in there. Flying cross body block by Leonard. Lewis kicks Leonard off. And Lewis was surprised there by Tim Leonard. Twice, Leonard hit Lewis with flying tackles and could not knock Lewis off his feet. But then Leonard came flying off those ropes with a cross body block and nearly pinned Lewis. Arm twist, arm bar combination by Lewis. He reaches inside for the flying mare. Leg drop into the elbow by Gene Lewis. Ask him, says Gene Lewis to referee Eddie Smith. Leonard is asked accordingly, but he said no. Leonard rolling around, good move. Pops the arm out of there. Could come up with a double toe hold. Nope, not this time. They're in the ropes. Clean break by Gene Lewis. This Lewis is a solid, tough customer. Hard to move, able to use his size, his 260, 265 pounds to good advantage. Very rough, very tough, very willing. Leonard and Lewis, match strength. Lewis uses his head to take Leonard down. Leonard manages to straighten out an arm. Leonard trying to come up. They're on their knees. Lewis leaning toward Leonard, but now Leonard possibly with the better balance of the two. Lewis, though, forcing the arms back. Leonard struggling against it. Kick into the stomach by Gene Lewis. He twists the arm around, goes into an arm lock on Tim Leonard. Forearm smash up underneath the shoulder by Gene Lewis. And then he's back to the arm lock on Tim Leonard.
Come on, let's go.
Everyone we've talked to really likes the potential of young Tim Leonard. It's just a question of gaining experience. The only way he can gain that is to get in there with the top men, the guys who have more experience than him. He has to learn and be willing to take a few bumps now and then, but he looks better with every outing, and I think Tim Leonard is a young man who may well be heard from in the future. Maybe today against Gene Lewis. Right now, though, it's Gene Lewis with the edge. He has that arm out, stretched out, pressure into the elbow. It's more Lewis hooks underneath the elbow. Forearm smash into the shoulder. That forearm underneath the shoulder. A lot of punishment into the shoulder right now of Tim Leonard. Forearm smash. It glances off the shoulder of Lewis, but Lewis wades right back in. Forearm smash into that shoulder, and Gene Lewis really punishing the left shoulder now of Tim Leonard. Lewis bending back in that arm. Leonard, maybe he can turn underneath, go to the leg. He reaches for the knee of Lewis. He can maybe send Lewis off balance, but it's going to be difficult because he has to turn his whole body against that hold, and I don't think there was a balance to do it. There wasn't. He went for the leg, but Lewis, calling on his experience, simply had too much leverage. Lewis bends forward into that shoulder. A kick to the rib cage by Gene Lewis. A smash to the head from Lewis. Lewis methodically wearing down Tim Leonard. That forearm smash right off the cheekbone. Flying mare by Lewis, and then once more he ties up Tim Leonard's arm. Obviously Lewis had given this match some thought before he went into the ring. He knew what he wanted to do. He found himself an opening, and now he's following up. A very well-planned attack by Gene Lewis.
Come on, it's his arm, let's go.
5 minutes of a lap, 5 minutes left.
5 minutes remaining in the time limit of the opening bout. Tim Leonard makes a real fine move. Rolling over, getting the arm free, and coming up with a head scissors on Gene Lewis. Lewis trying to come up over the top of Leonard, pull that head out, which he does. And a kick into the ribs by Gene Lewis. Leonard backing up, but Lewis staying on top of him. Leonard fights back with a forearm smash. Leonard with another forearm smash. Lewis hurled to the ropes by Tim Leonard. Oh, back body drop over the top goes Gene Lewis. Leonard covers Lewis. Cannot keep him down. Side headlock by Tim Leonard on Lewis. Flying tackle, that one dropped Lewis. Here comes Leonard again. Lewis ducks underneath. Lewis waiting, catches Leonard in the air. Drops him across the knee with a backbreaker. The backbreaker by Gene Lewis. Catching Leonard as Leonard tried a flying tackle. Down goes Tim Leonard. The leg's locked by Gene Lewis. Can he turn him? Can he turn him over to the Boston Crab? Lewis trying to turn Tim Leonard over into the Boston Crab. If he can get that leg over the hip, Leonard's going to be in trouble. There it is, the Boston Crab, the full Boston Crab, applied by Gene Lewis, and Leonard submits. Gene Lewis, with that Boston Crab, records another victory on Wrestling at the Chase, and Lewis has been very successful. He has a win today over Tim Leonard, the Boston Crab, turning the trick. Here's ring announcer Mickey Garagiola.
In 6 minutes and 31 seconds with the Boston Crab, the winner, Gene Lewis.
Ric Flair has a chance at wrestling's biggest prize when he tries to remove Dusty Rhodes from the World Heavyweight throne. What does Ric Flair think about his chances? What does Flair think about the match? Let's hear from Nature Boy Ric Flair.
St. Louis is the place. Now, not only is this a match for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, it's a match that the world has wanted to see for a long time. Dusty Rhodes and Ric Flair. Now, Rhodes, I have chased you. I have humiliated you. I have called you every name. Every derogatory name there is. And finally, only because you're the NWA champion, and only because Sam Mushnick and every other promoter in the world that's tried to put this together has it come to me. You and I. Now, you're wearing something that you call the People's Championship belt. The most prestigious gold belt in the world today. Well, that's not the People's belt. That belt was custom made for Ric Flair. Harley Race has been wearing it around. That's been a joke. And now you wearing it around is even a bigger joke. Because that belt was made, designed for the one and only. Who wears all the gold and all the jewelry? Who wears custom-made clothes? Who dates any woman he wants to on any night of the week? On any week of the month? On any month of the year? Ric Flair. And you know why? Because Ric Flair, he'd be a dude. He'd be a legend. He'd be the most gorgeous human being on the face of this earth. He'd be anything he wants to be. Because he's the greatest wrestler in the world today. And that's why I can do anything I want to do. When you're bad, brother, you're bad. And I'm the baddest, best wrestler in the world today. My beautiful blonde hair blowing in the breeze, my $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 robes, my limousines, and yes, the 7th, I'm gonna pull up one of my limousines. I don't want any of you little punk kids touching it. I don't want any of you girls touching my clothes. I don't want any of you running your fingers through my hair with their own business. The Nature Boy coming to St. Louis. I'm going to be the NWA champion. I am going to be the NWA champion. Rhodes, that is bad news for you. St. Louis, the 7th. Flair, going to be the champ. Woo! Find that word.
How are you? Can I get a hot dog, please? Actually, you know what? Cancel the hot dog. How about you give me $2 and I'll give you a shot right in the temple. I'm selling Fists of Fury today. Onions are free. You're nodding, but I'm pretty sure you don't understand what I'm saying. Where did you get this hot dog cart? At Crappy Land? Cartville?
Because Purcell Small and Mighty is concentrated, it only takes half the water to make it. Half the packaging to put it in. And half the lorries to deliver it. Every child has a right to a nicer world.
Fact. You can immunize your family against many infectious diseases, but not the most common of all, food poisoning, often caught from raw meat and the surfaces it touches. But to use Dettol's surface cleanser to kill 99.9% of bacteria wherever food has been prepared or stored, without leaving a taste in your mouth. Dettol protects. Fact. Dettol hand wash also kills harmful bacteria on your hands. Fact.
When you have a cold sore, don't hide away. Fight it with Zavirax Cold Sore Cream. Use it at tingle stage and keep using it right through the blister to fight the virus. Zavirax also soothes and moisturizes, then keep using it through the scab stage. Use Zavirax to cut healing time by up to half, so you're ready to face the world again. Zavirax Antiviral Cold Sore Treatment. Nothing works faster.
Hello, fight fans across the UK and around the world. Join us ringside for some knockdown, rock'em sock'em, drag-out, score-settling brawls on So You Wanna Fight. Boxing for the everyman. Those aren't pros, these are just average Joes who don't get along, so they're getting it on. Don't miss it. So You Wanna Fight, Tuesday at 7 p.m. only on the Fight Network. That word.
Introducing from Greensboro, North Carolina, weighing 136 pounds, Carol Summers. From Milwaukee, Wisconsin, weighing 135 pounds, Jill Fontaine. From Atlanta, Georgia, weighing 138 pounds, Joyce Grable. From Dallas, Texas, weighing 155 pounds, Wendy Richter. Referee, Eddie Smith, Lee Warren. Get the hell out of here.
Mickey Joe says they're worse than Bulldog Bob Brown. Wendy Richter and Joyce Grable were complaining to Mickey the whole time. They might add the belts they're removing are symbolic of their claim to be the World Ladies Tag Team Champions. Now they won from Lilani Kai and Judy Martin. So Joyce Grable and Wendy Richter, who claim to be the ladies tag team rulers, decide who's going to start. It's Joyce Grable beginning against Carol Summers. Grable and Summers circle. Grable with a wrist lock on Carol Summers. Down goes Summers. Nice move by Carol Summers into a hammerlock on Joyce Grable. Well, there's no doubt which team this crowd is cheering for. They are standing in roaring approval for Jill Fontaine and Carol Summers. They'd love to see them knock off the blonde duo, the Blonde Bombers, of Joyce Grable and Wendy Richter. That's a good name for them, the Blonde Bombers, believe me. They are a fantastic combination. What was Wendy mad at you about? What did you do, insult her?
No, I didn't say a word. It was one of the fans said something to her, and she tried to get me to get on her side, and I didn't know what it was all about. Boy, I'll take Bulldog Brown. I'll take Brown. I'll take Kaniski. I'll take Brewer. Anyway, these girls are tough.
Poor Mickey's had a rough day already.
And Ox Baker, don't forget Ox Baker. I like to throw him in, too.
Wendy Richter might throw him right out. Grable with a smash to the back of Carol Summers. Another forearm smash, drops Summers. Tag made to Wendy Richter. Grable hangs on to Summers for Wendy. Richter twists the arm of Carol Summers, spins it around again. And with a flip, puts Carol Summers down on the mat. Leg drop into the arm of Carol Summers by Wendy Richter. And Richter is just non-stop. She's like a tornado gone berserk. I can't believe the energy that girl has. Grable punishing the arm of Summers from outside the ring. Richter, of course, last weekend on Wrestling at the Chase, went to a stalemate with Jill Fontaine, each girl coming up with a fall before time expired. Carol Summers countering. Richter misses the tag with Joyce Grable. Richter gets to the ropes. Summers releases the arm lock. Richter taking her time coming away from those ropes, and now Joyce Grable calls Wendy Richter over for a conference. Richter into hammerlock on Summers. Flying mare by Summers. And there's an arm lock again by Summers on Wendy Richter. Forearm smash. Drops Summers. Oh, she's got a mean streak. Mean streak like Nature Boy Ric Flair will certainly have when he steps into the ring with Dusty Rhodes. Ric Flair, one of the most spectacular young wrestlers to step into the business in many a year. A man who brings to mind people like Buddy Rogers and Gorgeous George. A man who says he is the best. But there's one problem. Dusty Rhodes has the gold belt. And that means that Dusty Rhodes, until somebody can prove differently, is the best, because Dusty Rhodes is the world champion. And Ric Flair is going to have to prove it to Rhodes inside that squared circle, the best of three falls. Rhodes, who's been riding the high wave ever since he took the crown from Harley Race in Atlanta on June 21st. Rhodes defending that title against worthy contenders everywhere, constantly in demand for interviews, for appearances. Summers trying to mount the ropes before she could get up on the ropes. Grable pulled her down from those ropes and pulls back with a chin lock on Summers, but at least Summers managed to avoid being hurled into that corner. As we were saying, the demands on the ropes. Look out, there goes Wendy Richter flying into the ring. Richter was up on the ropes. She wanted to yell advice to Joyce Grable. Fontaine started jiggling those ropes, and Richter fell right over the top and into the ring. As we were saying, the question about Rhodes, you have to wonder right now, will his attention be diverted with all of the demands on his time, all the travel, all the people wanting to interview him? Will that take something away from his preparation for the match with Flair? He cannot afford to let that happen, because Ric Flair, don't forget, held Harley Race to a spectacular one-hour draw just last April here. He had Race in a lot of trouble. Everybody agrees that this man, Nature Boy Ric Flair, has what it takes to become the world heavyweight champion. Summers hung upside down in the corner by Grable and Richter.
5 minutes of elapsed, 15 minutes left.
Summers still hung upside down in that corner, and Wendy Richter stomping on the stomach. There's Grable reaching inside to strangle Carol Summers. Richter and Grable, as rough and as mean as Von Raschke and Dick Murdoch will probably be against Kerry Von Erich and Dick the Bruiser. Raschke and Murdoch couldn't be any rougher, any meaner, I don't think, than Richter and Grable. An elbow smash by Wendy Richter. Summers shaken by Richter. Summers throws a punch to the stomach, another punch to the stomach of Wendy Richter. Richter dragging the face of Summers along that hard taped rope. Fontaine whipped to the ropes. Fontaine leapfrogs over the top. Flying cross body block by Jill Fontaine. Grable throws Fontaine off, although Richter is there to help break it up if necessary. Fontaine twisting the arm of Grable. A forearm to the back puts Grable down to one knee. Here comes Richter again. I think she's taking lessons from Dick Murdoch on how to be nasty. She's breaking every rule in the book and then some.
And holding a running conversation with it.
Oh, she's something else. Tag made to the explosive Wendy Richter by Joyce Grable. Richter bounces Fontaine off the ropes. Fontaine leapfrogs over the top again. Oh no, Richter retreating. She knew what might be coming there, that flying cross body block. Instead it's a monkey flip. Drop kick right to the chest, levels Wendy Richter. Richter whipped to the ropes. Oh, Richter stopped herself and misses with a kick. Thrown to land at the head of Jill Fontaine. Fontaine lifts Richter for a body slam. Fontaine hits the ropes. Giant splash misses as Richter rolls. Here comes Grable. Grable hitting the ropes. And she misses with a giant splash on Fontaine. Summers trying a giant splash at Grable and she misses.
Yeah, but Health Center better put water in this spring. I'll tell you, they're really diving around.
Yeah, but Richter didn't miss. She nailed Summers right in the small of the back with that diving splash. Summers is hurt from that collision with Wendy Richter, and all four girls are battered right now. Summers grabs the arm of Wendy Richter. Fontaine has the arm of Grable, and Grable and Richter are they caught on. Come on with drop kicks and miss. They missed the drop kicks after avoiding being rammed together. Lee Warren has to look at which two girls belong inside the ring. Eddie Smith trying to explain who belongs in there. Richter's outside the ring on one side, and Joyce Grable's out on the other. Richter's flat on her belly down the concrete floor, and she has a count of 20 to get back in that ring. Wendy Richter very upset with one of the fans as she begins to get back in there. She's taking full advantage of that count to try and regain her breath. Wendy Richter back up on the apron. Well, everything went wrong for Richter and Grable right there. Fontaine and Summers making their presence known now. Fontaine hooks the arms of Richter and catapults her clear across the ring. Fontaine again going for that double leg catapult. Into the air goes Richter. Her ribs must be disintegrated. Oh, that giant splash comes right down across the knees of Wendy Richter. For all her wildness, she uses her head. She got those knees up and caught Jill Fontaine right in the stomach. Fontaine hurled to the ropes and dropped by Wendy Richter with a forearm smash. Another smash drops Jill Fontaine. That Richter is so big and tough she can take the punishment. She still comes back. It's like she hasn't taken a lump at all.
10 minutes have passed, 10 minutes left.
And I gotta tell you something about Wendy Richter. She's got some bruises on her thighs. I can see a welt on her ribs. She's taken some beating in this match, but she's still able to come back, storm back. She just won't quit. Grable puts Fontaine down after gouging the eyes. Fontaine dropped. Most of the blows actually by Grable and Richter are forearm smashes, and that makes them legal punches. Grable right on top of Summers. Flying, oh, look at Summers, stop that. A catapult, catching herself a cartwheel and a drop kick. A second drop kick puts Joyce Grable down. A third drop kick misses. Oh, Grable suckered her in. She lured her in, and Summers tried that drop kick, and it missed because Grable stepped back. Grable, using her head, got out of the way. Richter. A backflip. They catch Summers in the air. Oh, and Summers thrown down heavily on her neck and shoulders. Richter then catches Fontaine, a forearm smash, knocking her off the apron. I guess you would call that a reverse body slam by Joyce Grable as she literally dropped Carol Summers right on her head with a little bit of help from Wendy Richter. Well, I guess that's why they have the belts. that proves they are claimants of the World Ladies Tag Team title. Joyce Grable and Wendy Richter, as rough and as exciting as you can expect from any tag team combination. Here's Mickey.
11 minutes and 11 seconds, reverse body slam, the winning team of Joyce Grable and Wendy Richter.
Fight that word! You want to dance? Then come to the ballroom, and you better be ready to go.
Here's a face to watch for the future.
Nobody waltzes in this ballroom.
Oh, he's wobbled. He continues to work. And he is out on his feet.
Put away those sissy dancing shoes. This is ballroom boxing.
Oh, just a hammering body shot.
It's the ultimate dance floor for boxing stars of tomorrow.
Big right hand. It's a big right hand. That was a crunching shot.
Ballroom boxing. Get in the ring for the ultimate fight. Man, oh man. He's taking a beating right here.
No, you can't do that. You can't do that.
It's over, man.
It's over. It's over. It's over.
Oh my God. He's out. He's unconscious here.
That's it. Fight's over. He's out.
That's it. Wow. This fight is already over. Ultimate Combat Experience, Monday at 7 p.m. only on the Fight Network.
In the new Screwfix catalogue, there's an incredible range of over 16,000 products. There's great prices on everything from heating, to electricals, to tools. And now you can save £50 on this Chrome Towel radiator and valve pack. For next day delivery, just call us or go online before 6 p.m. Or visit your local trade counter today. You're never in a fix with Screwfix. Where the trade buys.
I love the 60s.
Swinging London, changing London. John, Paul, George and Ringo.
It was such a special time.
It's one small step for man.
But nothing stays the same. Sadly, we all lose someone close to us. You can't prepare for the grief, but there is a way you can ease the money worries of those left behind. The 50 Plus plan from LV can provide a guaranteed cash lump sum to help towards things like funeral expenses and unpaid bills. It costs from £8 a month, and with LV there's no medical or health questions, so you're guaranteed to be accepted. And there's a free gift when your plan starts. For your free information pack, call LV today on 0800 45 45 45. That's 0800 45 45 45.
TKO MMA, Friday at 7 p.m. only on the Fight Network.
Oh, you getting money? Well, hallelujah. I'm getting money too. More power to ya. But what the fuck that got to do with the mic? I analyze every rhyme you write. You ain't nice. What Pep can't do, the lyrical one can. I hit the mixtape circuit for a few months span. Now you run around screaming, Pat, push up, man. But I've been nice since they used to shoot up jams. G-packs on the block trying to move $1 grand. Everybody scatter when the knocks pull up vans. Man, it's hard in the hood, gotta use your plans. When you get some real money, cop you some land. Better watch how you choose your mans. Ass had they turn, but they don't wanna give you your chance. I ain't asked you for no favors when you blew up scrams. I mixed baking soda with coke and blew up grams. Your fans become mine when we do one jam. I'm like an air conditioner, I make you lose your fans.
And you know this.
But what the fuck that got to do with the mic? I analyze every rhyme you write. You ain't nice.
Fight that word.
The second main event, A1 fall with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing from Portland, Oregon, weighing 262 pounds, Ken Patera. From Denton, Texas, weighing 250 pounds, Terry Von Erich.
A lot of eyes eyes in the wrestling world are on this program right now. And on this match, Kerry Von Erich against Ken Patera. Patera taking his time, removing his tights. A little psychological edge here, maybe trying to get Kerry Von Erich a little bit too psyched up, a little bit too overwrought. You wear yourself out jumping around like that, says Patera to Kerry Von Erich. Patera and Von Erich. Got to give Patera credit. This week, Kerry Von Erich in a battle with former world champion Jack Briscoe on tap. Finesse against muscle when Briscoe and Patera square off. Then give Kerry Von Erich some credit. He'll be teaming with Dick the Bruiser against Von Raschke and Dick Murdoch. Important matches, critical matches. A little bit of arguing there about the knee of Ken Patera. Of course, Patera is back in action after undergoing knee surgery. But he's back at full strength now. Patera laid one in there. Von Erich threw a punch back. And they eye one another. They know the importance here. There's electricity in the air. Side headlock by Kerry Von Erich on Ken Patera. Patera trying to stretch out that neck. The neck that is as broad as a telephone pole. Patera lifts Kerry Von Erich, trying to throw him away, and he doesn't. Pitches him off. Pure power there. Oh, a drop kick by Kerry Von Erich! Arm drag by Kerry Von Erich! The crowd comes to its feet yelling. Good move by Kerry Von Erich. Patera muscled him away, threw him away, and when Patera took time to strut and flex those muscles, Kerry nailed him with a drop kick and then an arm drag. Patera reaches up for the hair and then a head scissors by Patera on Kerry Von Erich. The referee who was watching the shoulders of Patera simply couldn't see what Patera did to gain that head scissors. No fault there because if the referee wasn't looking at the shoulders, everybody in the building would have been yelling, "Watch his shoulders!" Hard to be two places or three places at once. Patera knew it. He took advantage of it. And I guess when you think about it, that's no worse than a baseball pitcher throwing a spitball, is it? It's bending the rule book a little bit too.
They do it in all sports.
You better believe it. From hockey on down. In hockey, they'll interfere with a man going down the ice. Hook him with their stick, even though it's illegal. But they're using the rule book because they know the referee can't see everything. How much holding goes on the offensive and defensive lines of a football game that the officials simply cannot detect. And the players know it. They take advantage of it. It's a profession. You're in there to win. You win any way you can. The winners get the big money. The losers don't. Patera and Kerry Von Erich know it, just as Dusty Rhodes knows it, because he's the big winner of them all right now. And Nature Boy Ric Flair wants that spot that Dusty Rhodes had. He'll try the figure four leg lock, he'll try the suplex, he'll try the elbow drop, he'll try the pile drive, he'll try it all to take that gold medal away from Dusty Rhodes. And Patera staggers through the ropes and outside the ring. Patera frustrated, scowling as he walks outside the ring. Patera complaining. At this point, it's Kerry Von Erich's agility that's been the difference in the match. The ability to take to the air for those drop kicks. They seem to have unnerved Patera a little bit. Patera and Kerry tie up. It's a side headlock by Patera on Kerry Von Erich. And of course, Kerry's brother, David, has a big challenge ahead of him coming up, too. A lot of pressure on Kerry's brother, David Von Erich. Kerry reaching inside, trying to come out with a wrist lock, and this could be the first real test of strength between these two men, a test of power, a test of might between Kerry Von Erich. Oh, and Patera pulls the hair. Eddie Smith saw it. He wants the hole broken, a knee to the head. And then Patera with a front face lock. Nice chancery. Yanks Kerry Von Erich over. Count of two, and Kerry gets his shoulders up, but Patera stays right on top. It's so easy to underestimate guys like Patera, like Flair. As far as their basic wrestling ability, you see the blonde hair, you see the gaudiness, you see the color, and you really overlook the things that they can do as far as quickness and as far as basic fundamental wrestling.
5 minutes have passed, 5 minutes left.
Patera nailed Kerry Von Erich. Kerry took some time to strut himself, and Patera really clobbered him. Patera ends up almost on top of the referee. Drop kick by Kerry. Patera manages to keep his feet. Patera with a forearm smash. Kerry caught in the corner. The arm whip. Oh, Kerry reverses it, and Patera is slammed into the buckles by Kerry Von Erich. Knee lifted to the stomach by Patera. Look at the physiques on those two guys. Talk about the kind of athletes these guys are, the things that Patera. Look out! He's going for the suplex! Patera with the suplex on Kerry Von Erich. Did you see how he just lifted that 250-pound in the air with virtually one arm? Hooking the head of him with one arm, lifting Kerry's body up. And a 1-2, and Kerry shoves Patera off. Look at the athletic credentials in that ring now. Kerry Von Erich, national record holder in discus. Set all sorts of records as a freshman in college. Would have gone to the 1980 Olympics in the discus. He was in high school All-American in football and in track and field. Ken Patera, possibly the greatest international weightlifter ever. His brother, the coach of the Seattle Seahawks in the NFL. You have two splendid athletes in there, and you look at those physiques. Let me tell you, they could give up each half, and there would be enough for any 20 people in this building. And they'd still be power-packed. Kerry Von Erich with a leg lock on Ken Patera. Kerry pulling back on that leg, twisting the ankle. Patera is strong. A lot of upper body strength. What if Kerry can wear down that leg, that bad knee, the knee that underwent surgery? If the pins are weak, maybe the monument will topple. That's what Kerry Von Erich's thinking about as he punishes the leg of Ken Patera. Jack Briscoe, take note.
3 minutes left, 3 minutes.
In fact, I think it's safe to say that Jack Briscoe will be asking everyone who's seen this match how to go. What weak spots did Von Erich find? What things can I use against Patera? Patera pounding on Kerry Von Erich now. Von Erich thrown right through the ropes and out of the ring down to the concrete floor. Patera limping around, favoring that leg, and Kerry took a hard spill on concrete floor. There goes Patera out after him. Ken Patera going down to ringside and after Kerry Von Erich. Patera going behind Von Erich, lifting him into the air. Atomic knee drop, an atomic knee drop. Outside the ring, Kerry staggering down to the concrete floor. Patera has hurt Von Erich. Von Erich down on the floor. He has a count of 20, and Eddie Smith begins that count now. Where's your pretty boy now? Yells Patera. Patera coming out after him. Patera pounds on the back of Kerry Von Erich once more. Another smash to the back of Kerry Von Erich. Von Erich fighting back. Von Erich with a punch to Patera's head, spinning him around. Smith trying to get the men back into the ring. Both men are back. Patera on top of Von Erich. A knee to the head by Ken Patera. Von Erich comes flying off the rope. The clothesline by Von Erich dropped. Von Erich dropped by that clothesline. Oh, the elbow drop misses. A second elbow drop misses. Patera just incensed that he can't put Kerry Von Erich away. He misses that punch. And Von Erich, is that a sleeper? He's trying to put a sleeper on Ken Patera. They're in the ropes though, and the referee calling for a break. Smith trying to break it up. Finally, Von Erich pulled away. Kerry leaps over the top rope and back into that ring. Patera down on the mat. Von Erich going for the claw. Von Erich going for the iron claw.
1 minute left, 1 minute.
1 minute remaining. Kerry Von Erich cannot quite get that iron claw onto Ken Patera. Patera calling on all his strength right now to keep that claw off his head. A kick to the stomach by Patera. What a sensational duel between Kerry Von Erich and Ken Patera. Patera misses with that shoulder. Jackknife, cradle, this could be it. Von Erich has Patera's shoulders down, but Patera uses his leg against the head of Kerry Von Erich to get free. Von Erich caught in the small package, a front rolling cradle by Patera. Patera nearly getting a pin on Von Erich. Patera with a blast to the stomach. Kerry fighting right back. Von Erich and Patera toe to toe. Patera staggering against the ropes. Back rolling cradle into the reverse. The reverse rolling cradle by Von Erich. there's the bell. The time limit has expired. And this match between Kerry Von Erich and Ken Patera ends in a slam-bang time limit draw. What a match. Here's Mickey Garagiola.
With time running out, referee Eddie Smith declares the match a draw. A draw.
For the first time in St. Louis, Dusty Rhodes will be defending the World Heavyweight Championship and gold belt against Nature Boy Ric Flair. Rhodes on top of the world right now. So let's hear from Dusty Rhodes.
You know, traveling all over the world now as World Heavyweight Champion Dusty Rhodes is not humble a little bit. You know, I was always braggadocious, but I'm very thankful to a lot of people for a lot of things. And there are some great wrestlers in this country, and there's some great athletes, and sometimes it comes up Dusty Rhodes' athletic ability and his brawling ability and his bullish ability. Well, Dusty Rhodes was all everything in high school, played football at West Texas State. I can run like a deer. I got fifth like lightning bolts. Dusty Rhodes is the world heavyweight champion. Wherever the place might be or wherever it happens, Dusty Rhodes gonna boogie down with some electrified funk like nobody ever seen before. There is nobody in wrestling today, not since the early days, that has the charisma, the dynamite that Dusty Rhodes has.
Find that word. Relive the glory years of British wrestling with the captivating World of Sport. Enjoy heart-stirring moments from the likes of Big Daddy, Giant Haystacks, Mick McManus, Jackie Paulo, Les Kellett, Kendall Nagasaki, and many more. Hosted as always by Kent Walton. World of Sport, Saturdays from 1 p.m. only on the Fight Network.
Okay, Steve, home insurance. How do we squeeze more money out of our customers? What's in your head, Steve? Unpack the box. Twist the envelope for me, Steve. Hit me.
At NatWest, get a third off home insurance in our knockdown sale. Call 0800 158 2500.
Because Pistol Small and Mighty is concentrated, it only takes half the water to make it. Half the packaging to put it in. And half the lorries to deliver it. Every child has a right to a nicer world.
When a cold chill begins to burn at your very soul, that's the sweet touch of love. Oh, when just a drop of a name begins to sting your very toe, that's the sweet touch of love. Oh, yes, it is. Just the thought of not seeing you would blow my mind.
There are all sorts of people in the Army. Discover more about yourself with the Army Pathfinder at armyjobs.mod.uk.
So I operate within the rules and structures of my organization. And so, do I take stuff? Yes. Is it creatine, protein, and things of this nature? Definitely. These guys are really, really dangerous, but they've trained so hard and they've done so. So I sometimes think they should have some limitations on how many fights we should do. And I fought 10 times in 1 year before.
Don't miss Fight Network Radio, weekdays from 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern on Hardcore Sports Radio, Sirius Channel 186.
Hey guys, what's going on? Doing a little construction, eh? You guys want to put down the tools and pick up the fists and fight like a real man? Bet you guys can't wait to get home and kiss each other a lot. You guys are so filthy, your fingernails are dirty, and they smell like a creek. Why don't I take off that construction boot and kick you in the throat with it? And knock your voice box out. What are you guys eating? Each other? That's awkward. That's cool.
Find that word.
And one name comes up every time I start rapping about anybody or having charisma or having excitement, and that name is Ric Flair. Ric Flair has been chasing the world's heavyweight title. Ric Flair is a great athlete. Ric Flair is flamboyant. He wears beautiful robes and fancy cars, just like the Dream does. But let me tell you something, Flair. It's come down to me and you. It's come down to Dusty Rhodes and Ric Flair. It's come down to the flamboyant styles of two of the greatest athletes in wrestling today. It's come down to the Learjets and the limousines. It's come down to all the ladies looking and whistling, and who is the handsome, who is the most prettiest, who is the baddest, who is the best. There's no doubt now, because Dusty Rhodes holds the gold, Ric Flair. I got the gold. Like I said, I'm not a question of my athletic ability. From day one, I played golf in the 70s. I do it all. And you do a lot of talking, So I'm gonna give you a shot at it. Dusty Rhodes, Ric Flair. The world's heavyweight title belongs to the American Dream, and the thousands of people that over the years have drove this ambition of mine, have took this gut feeling of mine, have took this one will of mine and made it what it is. I mean, this didn't come overnight. I mean, I traveled the highway in old cars and ate out of brown paper sacks, bologna sandwiches, and just because now I'm whining and dining with kings and queens, don't make me forget where I come from. The real roots of what it's all about. If you ain't got no roots, Ric Flair, if you can't look back on pride as something in your life, my pride is my family, my pride is my people, my pride is what I've accomplished in professional wrestling, the greatest sport in the world, bar none, bar none. So you dance around, wear your fanciest robe. I want your hair combed just pretty and right, because the Dream gonna whip you tonight.
The fourth match, most falls to curfew. Introducing from Blytheville, Arkansas, weighing 235 pounds, Joe Stark. From Winnipeg, Canada, weighing 242 pounds, Bulldog Bob Brown.
It's most falls to curfew, and it's Joe Stark against Bulldog Bob Brown. Stark pushes Brown to the ropes. Clean break from Stark. Brown reaches out. Tentatively comes to grips with Stark. Brown twists that wrist on Joe Stark. Brown bending that wrist back. Stark forced down to one knee. Brown, always willing to do a little officiating if it becomes necessary. He tells referee Lee Warren to watch his tights just in case Stark gets any ideas. Brown twisting that hand around. Bulldog Bob Brown telling Mickey Garagiola something happened 2 weeks ago, asking Mickey if he liked that airplane spin when Mickey tried to be a peacemaker at a celebrity softball game.
And he promised not to slam me, and he did. That's 2 weeks now, and I still haven't gotten over it.
You still haven't straightened up. You walk around a little bit gingerly. I notice you're not very agile anymore.
You better believe it. I tell you, when you hit these guys hit the mat, that hurts.
Let Steve Miserani fight his own fights from now on.
5 minutes left. 5 minutes.
5 minutes remain in the curfew. No falls yet between Bulldog Bob Brown and Joe Stark. Fireman's carry by Bulldog. Nicely done. Look where Brown's knee is, up against the elbow of Joe Stark. Stark looking for a vulnerable point on the Bulldog, something that he can attack or at least counter. Stark pushes Brown to the corner. Lee Warren asking for a clean break and getting another one from Joe Stark.
You know what Brown talks about all the time, about driving in the winning run and about playing alongside of Red Shandy's, and he completed a double play in 12 years, so that's Bulldog Bob Brown.
Brown, right Stark down with a hammerlock. Knee drop into the elbow by Bulldog Bob Brown. His good friend Pam Ganston. She came all the way from Pensacola, Florida, just to see wrestling at the Chase. That's when you know you have loyal fans. They come all the way from Florida to see wrestling at the Chase. But of course, people around the country and around the mat world, they know that wrestling at the Chase is in a class by itself. Talent-wise, technically, you name it, wrestling at the Chase has got it. And it has had some fast and furious action today. The girls' tag match, Jean Lewis's victory, a tremendous battle between Kerry Von Erich and Ken Patera that ended in a draw. Think what it'll be like when Rhodes and Flair square off, when Briscoe meets Patera, when Carey and the Bruiser take on Murdoch and Roschke, when David Von Erich has all that pressure on him, all the other stars in that program. A night to remember for sure. Bulldog, it's sort of a high arm drag, really pitching the man over the shoulder to take Stark down. Give it up, says Brown to Joe Stark. Brown leaning into that wrist. Stark on his feet. Again, Brown up along the ropes. Stark throws a punch at Brown. Side headlock by Joe Stark on Bulldog Brown. And here's a little tip-off for next weekend's edition of Wrestling at the Chase. A mixed tag match will be coming up. Same time, same place, Wrestling at the Chase. Next weekend, a mixed tag match, man and woman versus man and woman.
2 minutes left, 2 minutes.
2 minutes remain in the curfew. No falls yet. Brown had the early advantage as he worked on the arm of Joe Stark, and now Stark has had the edge as he works with a side headlock on Bulldog Bob Brown. Brown grabs the hair to pitch Stark down. Stark quickly back on top. Brown, let's Stark atomic knee drop. Ouch. That tailbone taking the knee of Brown. Brown whips it up and catches Stark coming off with a knee lift into the stomach. Brown lifting Stark right off his feet as he jammed that knee into the stomach of Stark. Hard chop puts Stark down. Bulldog Brown with the leg drop across the neck of Joe Stark. Stark reeling now. Second leg drop by Bulldog Brown. It's on the chest as Lee Warren indicated. A third leg drop by the Bulldog. He covers Joe Stark, forces those shoulders down, and there's the fall. We'll check the clock. I think it's going to be enough to give victory for the match to Bulldog Bob Brown. Yes, I believe it will. Bulldog Bob Brown with the only fall that's going to fit into this curfew. Brown is the winner of the only fall and the match. Let's hear from Mickey.
With time running out, the winner of the only fall and the match with a leg drop, the winner, Bulldog Bob Brown.
So Bulldog Bob Brown opened up. He managed to flatten Joe Stark with a knee lift to the stomach and then followed with 3 consecutive leg drops. That gave him the victory over Stark today on Wrestling at the Chase. Another match is Gene Lewis won from Tim Leonard. A girls' tag match went to Joyce Grable and Wendy Richter. And here's some of the action when Ken Patera and Kerry Von Erich battled to a time limit draw. There's Kerry with a jackknife and cradle. That nearly came up with a pin. You can watch as Kerry tries to clamp down the shoulders with his legs. The referee making the count, but you saw Patera slam his knee into the head of Kerry Von Erich, and that's how he broke up the jackknife and cradle. Now, don't forget, more action next weekend on Wrestling at the Chase. We'll see you then.
You've been watching Wrestling at the Chase. This program has been produced by Sam Muchnick in cooperation